Here's what happened, guys. There is noise online that Annie's mac and cheese has changed out the ingredients of milk and butter for the cheaper alternative ingredient, cornstarch. Now, I used to really like mac and cheese growing up and taking a fork into that pile of warm noodles and gooey cheese and then having the string of cheese hanging out the side of my mouth. My girlfriend, Adriana, would say I'm still a bit of a messy eater, especially with a plate of chicken wings like right in front of me. But I can't tell you the last time I bought a box of mac and cheese. So I want to know from you guys. You got to tell me in the comments if you currently or used to buy this brand, which is one of many examples of healthier or more natural brands that start with higher quality ingredients and then they tumble down with their ingredient quality after selling to a global corporation. More small business product brands are waking up. I think about that for the owners that get started with good intentions of wanting higher quality ingredients. They're waking up to the reality that success doesn't have to mean selling to a global corporation, getting the buyout. Welcome back to the RD Week show. Happy Thursday, guys. Let's get into it. There is something weird happening across our different industries, and it could be because of the avalanche of AI urgency slop that is being fed to us online, getting us to want to, it's the urgency to start using more of this technology in our small business and everyday life. But it's like this move to consolidate and centralize power. I talked about the last few days, the eroding of our Fourth Amendment, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. AI, it is it's not going back into the box. It is here to stay. But as early adopters, as small business owners, we can put boundaries on AI. We don't just have to adapt to the future. We can also shape the future. And it's important not to forget that. I have no desire, personally, to have humanoid robots in my house. And I loved watching Star Wars and seeing C-3PO, R2-D2. But what I use AI for primarily now is research. And what I want to do is share with you, going back to this, consolidation and centralization of power with AI. I got an update from Walmart that is out. I'm going to share with you an article with this headline about Walmart and what they're doing now with electronic pricing. But first, what I want to share with you is the top 10 businesses for market capitalization in the food and beverage industry. Let me get this up here for you guys. Let me share my screen here. We're going to go, speaking of AI, I'm going to get this up here for you. So here we go. Here are the top 10 food and beverage companies by market capitalization. So you have examples like Nestle, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo. You can see the market cap for them. And then go down, number 7, General Mills. This is who owns Annie's, the mac and cheese, where the ingredients have changed. And then again, you can continue down with Hershey. And there was something I saw online. You guys got to let me know if you know more about this than because I'm trying to remember what it was. It was related to Reese's and something about chocolate, how there was the change in ingredients there. But I'd like to know if any of you guys have explored that more when it comes to Hershey's. But it gets into this bigger topic of what does success look like for a small business owner? What does that look like for an entrepreneur getting started? When I went to college, I remember that's where I was first introduced to entrepreneurship. I just had no idea that you could do this, that you could run a business. Like I thought it was more something that you had to be born into for your family. Your family had to have a business and it gets passed down. But when I went to college, I realized, oh wow, okay, you could start a business. I remember one of my freshman classes was where business owners would come in and they'd share their journey and their story, which I think is a good class to have in college because there's a lot of classes that make absolutely no sense, that are absurd to have in college. But with this one, I thought, okay, this is productive. This helps me to understand the real world more. A lot of these other classes don't prepare you for the real world. So hearing the stories more and knowing that this is a possibility, I then decided to explore it more in college for entrepreneurship. There was a concentration of entrepreneurship in my college. And from there, what was success as it was shown to me was that you start an app and then you try to make it big in tech for the application of either selling it or making it so big, being like the next Facebook. That was a big one, or Uber is another one. And that was how it looked for success for an entrepreneur, like building up a startup and trying to make it big. When I think about success now and having many conversations, hundreds of conversations with small business owners, success looks a lot different. And it's, I believe, very important for us to speak about this of how can we shift the narrative of success, because it does not have to be just about selling to a global corporation, especially as if you have a product, brand that you're building out. It doesn't have to look like that. Actually, what it could look like is continuing to hold firm to the intentions getting started, which is higher quality. It has food for ingredients, higher quality product, a product that doesn't just break down after a few months and where someone then has to go and buy a new product, because that can happen for a strategy out there for businesses to do that. Or making sure that this is a product that's actually going to help improve the quality of life of the person buying that product for the long term and not just for the short term. Again, the short term dopamine hit, but actually something that long term can really improve the quality of life and I think about that of all these different products that are out there. When we think about success, quality keeps coming up for me, where I look around and I realize, like, when you companies, and not all, but when companies get bigger and bigger and bigger, the quality usually goes down of either the product or the service. And when that happens, it's unfortunate to see that. It's sad to see that, because you have, when it comes to the owners, the founders, good intentions to get started with that. And so this is where we got to look at, well, what can we change for success here for the narrative? And when I think of success now, I think of sticking to that quality standard as the business continues to operate. Maybe it's continuing to get bigger, or maybe it's just being able to go even deeper in how it supports the people that it's serving through either the product or the service, and taking it to the next level of customer service experience. And then it could be where success, instead of selling out to a global corporation, it could be selling to either to independent buyers or that believe also in the mission that you have for the business, or it's continue to be able to operate this business and then pass it on to either your kids or your grandkids. That for me, for family businesses, was the idea that I thought when it came to starting a business, that it had to be, your family had to have had a business and that it was going to be passed down to you. I actually think that for me, what I really appreciate is those businesses that last for the long term and that get passed to the next generation as stewards of the business. I see that as something that is how we could define success moving forward, because goes back to what with AI. There seems to be a big consolidation of power and centralizing that power. And when right now we are at a pivotal point in history where massive change is unfolding across our over 1,000 different industries here in the U.S. And with that change, there's a lot of chaos that is happening here. But what's important is we've got to fight for these rights that we have as Americans, one of which is the right to be able to own your small business. And 99% of all businesses right now in the U.S. are small businesses. And we got to continue to preserve that, continue to preserve the heart of the economy, which are small businesses. That's what can really help make a community, a city, a town vibrant, is the small businesses that are in that city, the coffee shops, the workout studio, if it's the wellness centers, like that. That helps to shape the culture of the city and town. And with success, it's when you're selling that to a global corporation, the quality at times it can become lower quality for the products and the services. And as small business owners, we're waking up to this and changing how we look at success. So look at success could be like improving the quality of life of ourselves, our family, as we're continuing to operate this business and stewarding this business for the next generation. And being able to pass it down to the right person, the right independent buyer that's going to continue to support the high standards of quality that you have for your business. That is something we have to create. We have to continue to move forward into the future to make America's future a small business renaissance. Is to be able to find success differently from not just selling to a global corporation. But then what I want to share with you also is this. Going back to the future, stability and creating more predictability for the people that you're serving through your products and services is going to be really important to differentiate in the marketplace as a small business. There is now, Walmart is rolling out electronic pricing. I just had a conversation today with my girlfriend about how flights, literally within the day, the price changed for a flight, and how this dynamic pricing models can really create a lot of unpredictability, really create chaos in trying to budget for what the week could look like, the month could look like for your finances. And that can be really difficult to then continue to move forward and improve your quality of life if it feels like it's always chaotic of what is all this going to look like for different prices. And I think it's something we got to continue to have more conversations about, and where things don't make sense, be curious and ask questions, because with the potentials of dynamic pricing, with AI becoming more and more prevalent for big businesses, there's an opportunity here for small businesses to really go back to what it was like in history, where we had the one price policy here in the U.S. all the way back to where the Quakers brought that into being popular as this one price rather than the haggling back and forth. And we might be now seeing the new version of this moving forward into the future. And small businesses have an opportunity here to position themselves as a business that can create more trust and predictability for the people that they are able to serve through products and services. And we have to realize that opportunity and move on that. So let me share with you my screen here so we can look at it, so you can see the headline. And then this is something we continue to talk more later on, but here we go. So here's a headline from CNBC. Walmart digital price labels are coming to every store shelf in U.S. by the end of 2026. Okay. And we can see this with other examples. I walked into a Whole Foods and saw electronic pricing that was there. But again, what does this look like if in real time you can change the pricing? If that's going to get a carton of milk and you reached down, you saw one price, and then when you took the carton of milk out, the price changed. Are we headed towards that direction? Well, if we look back at history at what happens with implementation of new technologies, we can see we're going along that path. And as small business owners, we got to create an alternative future where then we can start to shape the future in a different way and not just adapt to the future. So if you are a small business owner that wants to connect with other small business owners in person to shape the future of this country, then you can join us for A Future Fest in Charleston, South Carolina. This is happening January 14th and 15th, 2027. Plan is to have over 300 small business owners across industries coming together to shape the future and to be able to share different perspectives. And when you can notice similar patterns across industries, it can be easier to prepare yourself for the future, create more stability for your business and for yourself in the years ahead. So excited for that event, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow.